What if the biggest shift in global power isn't happening on the battlefield, but in laboratories, chip fabs, electric vehicle factories, and AI data centers? For decades, the world assumed that technological leadership would remain in the hands of the West, especially the United States. But today, another contender is not just catching up, it's setting the pace. Is China simply rising? Or is it quietly redefining what global leadership looks like? If you're ready for fact-based geopolitical analysis without hype or fear-mongering, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. We're breaking down power shifts with data, not headlines. Now let's look at the evidence. For much of the 1990s and early 2000s, China was known as the world's factory. It manufactured goods designed elsewhere. But that narrative began to shift long ago. In 1978, under Deng Xiaoping, China launched reform and opening up, introducing market mechanisms into a socialist framework. Over the next 4 decades, the country lifted hundreds of millions out of poverty and built the world's largest manufacturing base. But manufacturing was only phase 1. Today, China is investing heavily in advanced technology, artificial intelligence, renewable energy, semiconductors, aerospace, biotechnology, and quantum computing. Curiosity question: was this transformation organic or part of a long-term state strategy? The answer lies in policy. In 2015, Beijing introduced Made in China 2025, a strategic plan to dominate high-tech sectors. While controversial abroad, the plan signaled something important. China was no longer content being the workshop of the world. It wanted to control the value chain. Consider the numbers. China's R&D spending now exceeds 3 trillion yuan annually. It accounts for one of the largest shares of global patent filings. It produces more STEM graduates each year than any other country. It leads globally in 5G infrastructure deployment. It dominates supply chains for solar panels and electric vehicle batteries. Companies like Huawei, BYD, and CATL are no longer regional players. They are global competitors shaping industry standards. The question is no longer whether China can innovate. The question is, how far can it go? If you want to see China's innovation dominance in real time, look at electric vehicles and renewable energy. China is the world's largest EV market. It produces and sells more electric cars than any other nation. Companies like BYD now rival Western automotive giants in global exports. In solar manufacturing, China controls the majority of global production capacity across the entire supply chain from polysilicon to finished panels. This isn't accidental. It's the result of long-term industrial subsidies, infrastructure investment, coordinated state-private collaboration, massive domestic market scaling. Is this unfair competition or simply strategic planning at scale? That debate is reshaping trade policy worldwide. Artificial intelligence may define the 21st century. China has declared AI a national priority. It combines vast data ecosystems, strong state coordination, aggressive startup funding, large-scale deployment capabilities. While the United States maintains advantages in foundational AI research and semiconductor design, China excels in implementation at scale: facial recognition, fintech ecosystems, smart cities, and digital payments. China's mobile payment penetration exceeds that of most Western nations, integrating finance into daily life at unprecedented levels. But here's the deeper question. Is innovation only about invention or about deployment at national scale? In that second category, China may hold a structural advantage. Unlike liberal democracies, China's political structure, led by the Communist Party of China, allows centralized long-term planning. 5-year plans align financial institutions, provincial governments, research universities, and private firms toward national goals. Critics argue this system stifles freedom and creates inefficiencies. Supporters argue it enables speed and scale unmatched by fragmented democracies. The political question becomes unavoidable. Can centralized coordination outperform decentralized innovation in the long run? History hasn't fully answered that yet. China's innovation rise isn't confined within its borders. Through infrastructure financing and trade networks across Asia, Africa, Europe, and Latin America, China has expanded economic influence at historic speed. Ports, railways, digital infrastructure, and energy projects now connect dozens of countries to Chinese supply chains. Is this development partnership or geopolitical leverage? Both interpretations coexist. What's undeniable is that China has embedded itself deeply in the global economic arteries. To understand power, we must also understand limits. China faces serious headwinds: aging population, property sector instability, rising debt, geopolitical decoupling pressures, advanced semiconductor export restrictions. Technological competition with the United States is intensifying, especially in advanced chip manufacturing. Innovation leadership is not a straight line. The race is dynamic and ongoing. China is no longer simply a rising power. It is a systemic competitor shaping global standards in green technology, telecommunications, digital finance, infrastructure development, advanced manufacturing. Whether it ultimately surpasses established global leaders depends on sustaining innovation, managing internal economic risks, navigating geopolitical resistance, balancing control with creativity. The world is not becoming unipolar again. It is becoming technologically multipolar. And China is at the center of that shift. In 20 years, will historians say we witnessed the peak of Western dominance or the beginning of a new innovation order? If you found this analysis valuable, like the video, subscribe for deeper geopolitical documentaries, and share your perspective in the comments. Is China leading the future or just accelerating the competition? The next decade will decide.